Hiya, the name's Ash. Welcome back to another video where I make stuff and bring them to life stash. As you may be aware from the title, yes, I watched Sandersides by Thomas Sanders and I love it with all my heart. In other words, I'm really crazy about it sometimes. However, it takes a long time for the episodes to come out, so I tend to have to wait for a while and forget about it after a long time of waiting. But recently, and I think a month ago, Thomas made a new episode. And of course, I had to watch it. And of course, I started binging again. And while I was binging late into the night, I noticed something. The fifth anniversary celebration was 4 years ago. It was 4 years ago. You mean I missed the 9th anniversary and the 10th anniversary is months away? I had to do something about it. I made characters, my own sides meeting Sander's sides. They're known as Ash's sides. Anyway. First is logic. Since I took inspiration from Sander's sides, I obviously looked at Logan as the blueprint. Logan's whole thing is clean, composed, and very academically structured. Dark blue, glasses, very straight posture, everything about him is precise. But since I'm an artist, I didn't want to just recreate Logan. I wanted to reinterpret him. So instead of dark blue, I chose indigo. Indigo is technically part of the original rainbow, and I like that idea because it feels more foundational. Like, logic is not just smart, it is one of the base components of how everything works. So their eyes are indigo too, since that is their core color. I made them stylish, but not flashy. A long fake indigo leather jacket, a white tee, dark blue pants, and brown shoes. Clean silhouette, straight lines, nothing excessive, and I made the outfit simple and elegant because logic to me is straight to the point. And the messenger bag is important. Logan carries around knowledge, metaphorically, so I gave mine a literal bag. I have grown to love messenger bags because they sit at your side and carry everything. Notebooks, essentials, random thoughts. So in a way, the bag represents all of my study streets. All of my organized ideas live there. Compared to the others, logic feels the most structured, the most deliberate. Second is creativity. Creativity is obviously inspired by Roman, the dramatic and theatrical side. But instead of going princely and theatrical like Roman, I leaned into Y2K. Because Y2K is bold, experimental, and slightly chaotic and very expressive. Bright reds, pinks, layered skirt over shorts, leg warmers, and accessories stacked on accessories. It does not follow strict fashion rules. It mixes them. That is what creativity feels like to me, stacking ideas until something works. I also made them chubby. It's because I'm chubby IRL and I fit most into creativity. I also made them darker than normal because I think it's cute. Red symbolizes passion, pink adds playfulness, the asymmetry in the outfit, mismatched leg warmers, layered fabrics shows how creativity is not symmetrical or logical. It is instinctive. Where anxiety's chaos feels heavy, creativity's chaos feels alive. It is messy, but in a fun way. And I think that is the biggest difference between taking inspiration from Sandersides and copying it. Next is morality. For morality, I obviously thought about Patton from Sandersides. Patton is bright, warm, colorful, and very openly affectionate. But instead of going super cartoonish or overly cheerful, I toned mine down. I dressed them in a 2010s style because that era feels nostalgic and grounded. Sweater tied around the waist, long sleeve top, rolled up shorts, sneakers. It is casual, comfortable, and familiar. Morality is not supposed to intimidate you, they are supposed to feel safe. The blue tones make them feel calm and trustworthy, not overly bright like Patton's primary colors, but softer, more steady. Their opposite stance, arms slightly out, makes them look approachable, like they're about to say, "Let us think about this." Where logic feels sharp and analytical, morality feels emotionally steady. They are not flashy, they are stable. Then there is anxiety. The one was very inspired by Virgil. Virgil's dark hoodie, purple tones, and guarded posture are iconic, so I kept purple as the base color because, well, purple just feels like anxiety in the Sandersides universe. But instead of keeping it minimal, like his plain hoodie, I made mine chaotic. I built their design around fidget clothing. Anxiety for me is restless. It needs to move, so I added patches, textures, dangling pieces, fidget pieces, mixed fabrics, things you could tug on, scratch at, rub between your fingers, poking, and other things. The hoodie is oversized, almost swallowing them. The pants are ripped and layered with different materials, and nothing is clean. Where logic is structured and morality is balanced and creativity is colorful, anxiety is cluttered. The pale skin tone makes them look drained. The darker purple hair blends into the hoodie, almost like they are trying to disappear. And the little details stitched everywhere represents intrusive thoughts. Small, constant, impossible to ignore. It is overwhelming on purpose. Second to the last is the seat. This one was inspired by Janus from Sandersides, obviously. Janus is snake-themed and very theatrical, but instead of going with a snake, I reinterpreted the idea. I made mine a wolf in sheep's clothing. Literally. They are a gray wolf wearing a sheep balaclava, with the sheep's head resting on top like a hood. The wool wraps around them like a jacket, hanging from the shoulders. The tail and more of its wool wrapped around the waist of their shirt, and even their mittens are made of the same fluffy material. It looks soft and harmless at first glance, but underneath, it is still a wolf. Their colors are yellow, white, and gray. Yellow is the shirt underneath, since yellow is essential to the seat in Sandersides. They also have yellow eyes, purely yellow. Gray and light browns are for their fur, and soft pink details appear on the sheep head and mitten paws. I like the contrast between something that looks cute and something that is actually dangerous. It fits the seat perfectly. And me too. People think I'm cute, but underneath, I'm actually feisty. Both in a good and bad sense. And the very last, intrusive thoughts. This one was inspired by Remus from Sandersides. He is the narrative opposite of Roman, which is Thomas's creativity. So I followed that same structure. If my creativity is Y2K, bright and expressive, then the opposite had to be grunge. They are green, with green highlights in their long hair. One side of their hair is badly shaved to make them look more unhinged and rough. Their outfit leans heavily into grunge, mostly black with an off-shoulder ripped shirt layered over a green tank top, messy, distressed, intentional. I also added a utility belt with poison, a saw, and an axe because intrusive thoughts feel violent and sudden. They also have a gun. I think, that makes them more intimidating. They are not polite, they are sharp and disruptive. Their face is sculpted almost intense, and their build is bulky to make them feel physically overwhelming. The belt is brown, the pants are grayish-black, and the overall palette stays dark with green as the main accent. Where creativity feels playful and alive, intrusive thoughts feel heavy and chaotic. They are the opposite for a reason. So overall, even though all of them were inspired by Sandersides, I did not want to copy them. I kept the emotional foundations and color symbolism, but translated everything into my own aesthetics, eras, and personal preferences. Each side reflects not just the show, but me. My fashion interests, my interpretations, and how I experience these traits in my own head. They may have started as inspiration, but they ended up becoming mine. So at this point, I'm drawing my sides meeting Sanders' sides. I won't go into the details, it will just be a speed paint in the background while I talk about Thomas and his series for a bit. I don't think I can properly explain how much Sandersides changed my life without sounding dramatic, but I mean it. It is not just a YouTube series to me. It feels like someone took all the loud, confusing, messy parts of my brain and put them on screen. Every episode feels like being gently called out, not in a cruel way, in a way that makes me sit there and go, oh, so that's what I've been doing. Especially in these episodes that I like so much. The first video I'm going to talk about is learning more about myself. It hit me harder than I expected because I'm still learning who I am. There are so many things about myself that I have not figured out yet. What I want, how I want to be seen, how I want people to take me seriously. That episode made me realize that it is okay to not have everything sorted out. It's okay that I am still discovering things about myself. I related so much to the struggle of wanting to be taken seriously while also being told not to care so much about what other people think. That balance is hard, especially for me as someone who's struggling a lot with myself. I want people to respect the things I am passionate about. I want them to understand that the things I love are not jokes to me. But at the same time, I can't control how people talk about me. I can't live my life adjusting myself just to fit their comfort. That episode reminded me that every facet of myself matters. Logic matters, creativity matters, anxiety matters. Even the parts of me that I find embarrassing or inconvenient matter. They are not enemies, they are parts of me that need to be understood and taken care of. And that leads into the whole selfishness versus selflessness discussion. Another video that they made, a two-part episode actually. And that episode genuinely changed how I see my friendships and how I should take care of myself. I tend to feel guilty when I put myself first. I overthink. I worry that if I say what I need, I am being too much. But Sanders' sides showed me that taking care of yourself is not betrayal. It is not selfish in a bad way. It is necessary. If my friends truly care about me the way I care about them, they would not mind if I opened up. They would not mind if I said, hey, I need this, or if I say, hey, I'm not okay, or if I say, hey, I can't go to your wedding or to your occasion right now because I want to focus on myself. The people who genuinely love you want to understand you. They're not keeping score. And I should not feel guilty for doing things for myself first, especially when I have been doing everything I can for them. Selflessness is beautiful, but not when it erases you. And then, well, the most recent episode. It is called Why Dating is Scary. That episode made me realize how much I overthink love. I try to approach it logically. I try to predict outcomes. I try to protect myself from getting hurt before anything ever happens. But they were right. Love is not logical. It is messy and uncertain and sometimes embarrassing. And maybe I need to stop treating it like a test I have to pass. I need to learn how to have fun in it, to let it be awkward, to talk things through instead of assuming the worst, to make sure we are communicating, to make sure we are actually listening to each other. Because issues can be solved peacefully if both people are willing to talk. That is something Sanders Sides keeps teaching me. None of the sides are villains. They clash. They argue. They misunderstand each other. But the solution is almost always communication. Sitting down and actually listening. And I think that is what changed me the most. It taught me that I am not broken for feeling everything so loudly. I am not wrong for wanting to be taken seriously. I am not selfish for needing space. And I am not foolish for wanting love. I just have different sides of myself that need to be heard. And I'm still learning how to let them speak without silencing each other. That is why I love Sanders Sides. Because in teaching Thomas how to understand himself, it helped me understand myself too. So I guess this is just me saying thank you. Thank you to Sanders Sides and Thomas himself for making me feel seen. For putting words to feelings I did not know how to explain. For calling me out gently instead of shaming me. For reminding me that I am allowed to grow, to change, to figure things out at my own pace. I am still learning more about myself. I am still learning how to balance all my sides. But at least now, I do not feel alone while doing it. And that means more than I can put into words. I hope you enjoyed the video. And really, there will be a part 2 in 2 months because I already have something in mind for March. So, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.